Hello and welcome to my digital space. I really wish I was lying, but this is literally what my desktop looks like right now. So like many of you guys, I spend the majority of my time here in this rectangular screen, but I definitely don't prioritize decluttering it enough like I do with my physical space at home. So today that's gonna change, and for the first week of my Declutter December series, I'm going to be reorganizing my digital life. So I'm cleaning up my everyday tools and platforms that I use. I've come up with a 15-step checklist for myself that I'm going to add as timestamps for this video, so feel free to follow along, or you can also download the link that I will add in the description box below to help guide you later. For reference, I use a MacBook Pro and an iPhone, but these steps can definitely be applied to whatever device that you use. Cool, so let's begin. I'm going to start with my desktop and then we're going to tackle my phone later. Let's start off by decluttering my desktop, my downloads, and my documents folder so that we can start with a fresh screen. I'm gonna delete all the files I don't need anymore and also file away the things I do want to come back to later. Wow, it is so much nicer in here now. I saved the best part for you. I love that sound. The second step is to organize my desktop application. So I've opened this up and I'm just gonna delete anything that I'm not using anymore. And then I'm also going to review my dock down below and see if I want to make any changes based off my app usage. I don't use reminders, so I'm gonna remove that from the dock. I also don't use Safari. I like to keep it really minimal down here. Now that our desktop space is clean and organized, we are moving into my browser. I use Chrome, and I'm gonna start off by organizing the bookmarks tab and toolbar. I'm deleting the shortcuts I don't use often. I'm also adding a few new ones in and renaming any. I'm also going to delete some unnecessary Chrome extensions to free up some disk space and improve performance. I also realized during this that I have some extensions showing on my toolbar that really don't need to be seen, so I'm going to unpin those to reduce the visual clutter up here. For step 4, I'm going to be organizing my cloud-based storage. So that includes my Google Drive, my Google Photos, iCloud, and I also included my Canva as well as the Notes app. I knew this was going to take me a long time, so I did it all earlier this week. The majority of it was photos and videos. So on my Google Photos and iCloud, I reviewed everything, deleted what I didn't need anymore, and transferred it all to my external hard drive. This was also a really good time for me to clear out any project files on Canva and also to delete a lot of junk notes on my Notes app. Okay, that was a lot. Step 5 is also pretty hefty. I'm actually still working through this, but it is to organize my passwords and payments manager. I use LastPass to manage all of my passwords. You may be using something similar like 1Password or even just your Google or Apple Keychain password manager. I'm currently going through all of my accounts and updating any weak passwords or deleting any accounts that I no longer use. I also cleaned up my Google Payments Manager and deleted any expired credit cards or any cards that I don't want to prioritize using. Alright, moving on, we are now gonna tackle my email. I read somewhere online to archive emails that are from 6 months ago and beyond, but I personally feel more comfortable keeping emails for up to 3 years because sometimes I like to check back on old emails to regain context around things. If you use Gmail, you can speed up this process by filtering your emails out with this query here. I'm also going to unsubscribe from all of the promotional emails that I don't get value from anymore. And moving forward, I want to be better at unsubscribing as I receive these emails instead of letting them pile up. Lastly, for my inbox, I'm going to reorganize my labels on the sidebar. I went ahead and deleted some that are outdated as well as edited and added some new ones. This next one has been long overdue, which is to organize my music playlist. I use Spotify, have been using it for a long time. So I took my time with this and I also had a lot of fun with this process. I rediscovered some old songs. I definitely go through phases with music and I found random playlists labeled like I like, which have no meaning to me now. So I deleted a lot of those too. Whew. We are done with the desktop and moving into my phone. The rest of the checklist is going to be a lot faster because we've tackled all of the heavy-duty things in our cloud storage. First, I'm going to delete some apps that I no longer use. For a few apps that I still want on my phone but don't want it cluttering up my screens, I just removed from my home screen instead of completely deleting them. The next step is to clean out my camera roll, but since we already did this through iCloud on my desktop, we can check this off. I kept this on the list though because not all of your photos may be synced onto iCloud. The 10th step is to delete my old alarms. And while I'm here, I'm just going to set my daily morning one for now. This next one is for my iPhone users, and we are going to be customizing my work mode. After years of owning an iPhone, I just discovered this, so I usually alternate between do not disturb and focus, but I didn't know that I could customize the modes. So let's customize my work mode. I'm gonna allow phone calls from Jason and my immediate families just so that we are available in case of any emergencies. However, I'll only allow notifications from my Gmail and my calendar apps for work purposes. And lastly, I'm gonna customize my home screen to only show these apps so that there are no distractions while I'm working. This is so cool to me, and I'm really curious to find out how this affects my productivity. Moving on, we are now going to turn off any notifications for apps that I find unnecessary and distracting. We are almost at the finish line. For step 13, I'm gonna unfollow or mute any social media accounts that no longer bring me joy or value. This one is also so long overdue, and I'm gonna do this for my Instagram and TikTok. I really miss the old Instagram days where it felt like my feed was catered to what I wanted to see, and it felt more of like a community versus just seeing random things. Although the algorithm has dramatically changed, I'm hoping that narrowing down the accounts that I follow will help fine-tune to a feed that I'd be more interested in engaging with. Instagram has a neat little feature that shows you which accounts you least interact with, and this was pretty helpful for me to figure out who to unfollow. Next up, we're going to review all of my subscriptions and see if I want to stop using any services. I also went back to my desktop for this, and what's also been helpful is charging all of my subscriptions to the same credit card so that every month when I check the bill, it's sort of a nice little reminder to see which services I'm using. And lastly, I'm going to update my screensavers. Aesthetics are so important to me and definitely can influence my productivity. So for my desktop wallpaper, I'm gonna keep this photo. I think it's really calming and pretty. I found this on Unsplash, which is a great place to find high-res, free downloadable imagery. And I'm gonna add this quote on top of it, which is from my friend. He told me the other day that work is love made visible, which is something I want to keep in mind as I navigate through next year, especially as I produce more content for this channel. Whew. We are done. That felt so good to reorganize my digital life. I feel so much lighter and I feel like I can breathe in here. It felt really good to finally check off a lot of things that I've been wanting to for a while now. When I get really busy, I tend to let things pile up, and when it gets to a level of clutter that feels like there's no going back, I tell myself that someday I will just tackle it all head on. But going through this cleanup was a really good reminder to be better at keeping up with habits so that I can be more efficient and not have to spend hours organizing everything. Will you be decluttering your digital space for next year? I'd love to hear from you if you are. And if you want a guide to help you, don't forget about my checklist that I will link for you down below. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, please give me a thumbs up so that I know. And if you'd like to see more home lifestyle content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload my next one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.